if you screw up or your trustee screws up by doing something and contacting an agency, look, it's not our fault. Hi, Jeff Marsachi, the Plain English Attorney, and welcome to the video. This is Medicaid Whoopsies. This is actually going to be a review of terms and conditions that we end up putting into the standard engagement agreements when we do Medicaid planning, because there seems to be this tendency for people to just go rogue. And there are stories behind these different provisions. So my intention is to make this video applicable as far as teaching lessons on how to be a good Medicaid planning client so that you get the best results possible. And at the same time, this is actually a good video for the other professionals out there who are in Medicaid planning or maybe thinking about it. Now, that's not just limited to attorneys. I'm a certified Medicaid planner and I'm an attorney, but there are certified Medicaid planners out there that are also social workers, accountants, financial advisors. It's this designation that's really showing you know how to do Medicaid planning, and it's a designation granted by the CMP governing board. Go ahead and look them up if you want. So we're going to go ahead and go into the video. I'm going to be doing this kind of in the style that I do reaction videos, but I don't really kind of consider it a reaction video because it's my own stuff. And it's my own stories that come in around this. So let's go ahead and jump in. Asset transfers. This is a standard part because we don't actually make transfers. The fact is, financial institutions, they really don't want to deal with us. They don't, because we're not the client. So part of what we're having to work with our clients on, you agree to be responsible for the transferring of title of your assets as directed by the Care Assistance Plan, as well as changing the named beneficiaries and setting up accounts as directed. One or more of the entities herein will provide specific guidance, but the actual establishment, cancellation, and/or transfer of assets and accounts is your responsibility. If you think it's important for educational videos like this to get out there, then please help us out by subscribing to the channel. Now that's an important thing. If we were to handle the transfers, no matter how much we end up getting paid extra to do it, it's typically going to take 3 to 5 times as long, because now each institution wants, oh, we need this power of attorney. Oh, we need it registered. Or wait a minute, fill out this form. And oh, well, wait a minute. No, you need to also fill out this form. And it becomes a nightmare. And when what you're talking about is really what could be $10,000 more or less per month for long-term care, a delay of another 3 or 4 months is extremely costly. So part of the deal when we're working with our clients is they're going to have to take some actions. Now, we will be able to provide them, here's what needs to be done. Each institution has their own forms, but they have to be the ones handling those actual transfers, and in a timely manner. So in this language, I also put that we're not responsible for any delays in actually qualifying for Medicaid because you or your power of attorney didn't get things done in a timely manner. The other piece that's really in here is about out-of-state real estate or legal documents required in other states. We need to get an attorney in that state. Now, I guess this is probably a good time to talk about, it's referencing the Care Assistance Center in there. That's a separate entity that I set up as, it's a limited liability company that I'm the owner of, so that we can take in one fee and then provide a check to the law office for handling the legal work, to other entities for handling other work, for a company that handles the Medicaid application if that's part of what we're doing. So this way, the client only has to provide one check and everybody is kind of contracted and gets paid their fee through that one company. It also is the company that I use if I'm doing Medicaid planning strategy work with attorneys and advisors in other states. I'm only licensed as an attorney in North Carolina. I'm not going to end up practicing law anywhere else, but as a certified Medicaid planner, I can provide guidance, strategy, and assist in setting up the plan, which often includes the legal documents that need to be handled by an attorney in that state. Now, a good thing is there is a national solution through the estate planning source for a lot of those documents, and they have attorneys in a whole bunch of states. I'd love to say all of them. I'm pretty sure it's not all, but most. And they could end up working on the documents. And this is actually one of the things that I'm going to be teaching on at the Advanced Institute coming up in mid-September 2022. And I'll be teaching on Medicaid planning and some of the strategies and techniques that can be used for Medicaid planning. But again, there's real estate outside of North Carolina. My law firm can't handle doing a deed for it. We just can't because I'm not licensed there. So part of what I work in this network in is if they have clients that have land in North Carolina and it needs to go into a trust for their clients in Virginia or Tennessee or California or wherever, if they've got land in North Carolina, I can put together a quitclaim deed to move it into their particular trust and vice versa. So that's an interesting part of the network. But I have to put in, hey, we can't handle anything outside of North Carolina in terms of the legal work from my law firm. Let's go ahead and jump ahead to the next one because this happens sometimes. This is a fixed fee. It's paid to the Care Assistance Center. We put together this whole plan. It's non-refundable once we really get into it. Situations change, and we're happy to adjust the plan as things move along. The problem is if someone's health wildly declines. Oh, this didn't give us a ton of benefit. Well, look, we still did the work. Or it's a miracle. They're better. We're not going to end up needing Medicaid for like another 10 years. We don't need you to do that plan. Well, look, we've already done the work. That's actually a pretty relatively minor one. It doesn't come up often because by the time we're underway, people end up seeing there's an awful lot of value in what we're doing. And even if the Medicaid planning piece of it doesn't come to fruition at all, it's still a solid estate plan as part of the whole thing. So it's not just the Medicaid planning and the strategy and what goes where. All right, the legal documents end up being part of all of this. And part of all of that is the estate planning wishes when the client or clients have passed on where they want their assets to go. That's incorporated as part of it. It's not like you have to do a separate estate plan as part of this. Right. Because clear, consistent, and coordinated reporting to government agencies is critical to a successful plan, you understand, covenant, and agree that as part of the planning process, that you will not independently contact or discuss your case with any Medicaid office, Social Security office, Veterans Administration office, or any government agency or contractor associated with the particular benefits being sought, including any personnel of a care facility who offers to provide application assistance. All right, let's cut that off there because I've told of other cases where, oh, they just went down to the Medicaid office to get some answers, and I don't know why this is taking so long. Or the son, who is the trustee, called the Medicaid caseworker overseeing the case, and the caseworker just started chatting. Oh, well, why did you move this? Why'd you move this? And why did you do this? And one of the answers they gave was, oh, so dad could qualify for Medicaid. Application denied. That was it. He completely blew up a perfectly good Medicaid case because, oh, I'm going to call and find out what's taking so long. The intention isn't to qualify for Medicaid. It's just a part of an overall plan. But when you say the intention is to qualify for Medicaid, then suddenly, nope, it doesn't work anymore. I'm going to liken this to everybody probably heard, oh, you get to keep the family home and still qualify for Medicaid for nursing home care. You can keep that family home. No problem. Well, one, they put a lien against the house if it's only one person, but we've got techniques around that. But the second you say, oh, mom's not going to ever go home or mom doesn't intend to go home, that's it. It's no longer an exempt asset and you got to sell it and spend it down. So you just don't ever say that. Part of what we end up doing is we put in place an affidavit that they always intend to return home, and no one can say differently with Medicaid relying on it. It's an affidavit sworn under oath that they intend to go home no matter what, and that's it. All right, so, and this other piece, you understand that and agree that should you, a family member, or your trustee contact or discuss your case with such government or contracted office or care facility without going through the Care Assistance Center, LLC, or an associated team member, you may jeopardize the benefits you are applying for, and such shall not be the responsibility of the Care Assistance Center, LLC, or its team members listed herein. Yeah, just basically, if you screw up or your trustee screws up by doing something and contacting an agency, look, it's not our fault. And we kind of have to put that in there because, like I said, people go rogue. The other piece that's in there, because this frequently happens, nursing homes have a pretty vested interest in making sure that they're getting paid. So an employee, typically a social worker, they'll just go, oh, you're running out of money? We can do the Medicaid application for you. And they go, oh, well, wait a minute. Yeah, I heard, we were going to end up paying this extra money for this other group to handle it if it wasn't part of the whole overall services that came under the agreement. They were going to pay a certain amount extra to get the application done through us. Oh, well, they'll do it for free. Great. Meanwhile, they have absolutely no idea what the plan is. They don't know what we did. They just cobble together an application and send it in. And now the Medicaid office is like, wait a minute, we've got all these red flags and we got to do this. And your application is going to be denied. And there's all of these things. In one case, they asked about the trust, which they shouldn't have even had to mention because the only thing that was really on the table was a primary residence purchase, which is just the contract and the deed and showing where the checks went. The family took the money and put it into a trust, but they're like, oh, you have this trust. We need to see this trust. They gave them the wrong trust. It was a different piece. It was a special needs Miller trust, which we use as a just in case in North Carolina. It wasn't the main trust. They said, yeah, all the money's in there. It wasn't. So they examined it and said, this trust is defective. You can't do this. And so they called and yelled at us. I'm like, wait a minute. You filed a Medicaid application? Oh, well, the facility did that. And you went and talked to the Medicaid office. Well, yeah, they asked for stuff. Well, now the communication broke down. They didn't go through us so that we could say, here's everything and walk the caseworker through everything. Here's what was done. And therefore it was fine. No. So it became a whole bunch of red flags where we had to end up working a lot extra. That was totally needless.